Right. Well, hello and good morning, everyone. My name is Shelly. I'm a physiotherapist here at the Society. And the class you're in is the 30-minute Monday morning stretch class. If that is not the class you want to be in, then you're in the wrong place. But you're welcome to join in. So this is our level 1 30-minute morning stretch class, and level 1 meaning that this is open to all levels, and it's nice and gentle and slow paced. And you kind of work with whatever your body feels capable of doing on the given day. So it's not like our other classes, which are a little higher intensity. This one is a nice, gentle way to get moving for everybody. Now, in the class, if anything feels off or painful or just not right for your body, that's okay. Feel free to sit a certain exercise out, or you're more than welcome to reduce the range of movement in which you're moving if that feels better for you. The class is what you make it. So you're welcome to do as much or as little as you like. But the purpose of the class, or at least is my hope, to basically find a gentle, low impact way for you to get some movement into your body. And the class is only 30 minutes, so it does go by relatively fast. But what we'll do if you're new today is we're going to start in a seated position, and then we'll move to a standing position. So you can see there's a chair behind me here. Now, the chair that you're going to start sitting in should ideally not have wheels. So if you are in a computer type of chair where you've got wheels that swivel at the bottom, you might want to change that over for, say, a dining chair or something that won't move. It's just so that way when we get moving with our body and legs, you won't slide away from the room. And the sturdier your chair is, the better, because we will be doing some back stretches in sitting today. And you definitely do not want the chair to move underneath you. And you can also see my chair has no armrest, so you can see it's got nothing on the side. And I do have that on purpose because as we get moving today, we just don't want to be restricted with our armrest on the side. But if you only have a chair with armrest, that's okay too. Just be careful as we're moving today. You're not going to injure yourself, your elbows, your arms, and things like that on the side of the chair. Let's get started because we only have 30 minutes. I don't want to talk too much because you're not here to hear me blab. You're here to move. I'll just make sure there's nobody stuck in the waiting room. Nope, we're good. Okay. Oops. All right. So hopefully you can see me. Oh, right when I say that, somebody's entered the waiting room. Okay, there we go. Right, let's have a sit down first. Now, when we're sitting in our chairs, let me turn sideways. Just because we're starting in a seated position does not mean we are sitting like this, right? We don't want to be sitting like this in our chairs because if you're leaning back and slouching, your center of gravity is so far back that it's actually really tough to move. And so you want to use your tummy muscles, sit up nice and tall, and you want to be right at the front of your chair, okay? I'm just going to let someone else in from the waiting room. But there's only one exercise in the class today where you're actually allowed to slouch. So just bear that in mind. You want to start sitting forward in your chair, nice and tall, feet flat on the floor. And we're going to start with a big breath in, sweep the arms all the way up, reaching the fingers up to the ceiling. And then breath out and circle the arms down. Noticing my wrists are circling. Let's do that again. Breath in. Reaching, stretch up at the ceiling. And breath out. Nicely done. Let's do one more. Big breath in. Sweeps. Reach up to the ceiling. And breath out. Good. Nicely done. We're going to separate our legs a little more. We're going to start with our hands on one side, and we're going to draw our fingers up and over like we're drawing a gigantic rainbow or a big arc or semicircle, whatever you'd like to imagine in your head. but you're really thinking about spreading your fingers, right? Look at my fingers, nice and wide. We don't want the hands like this. We want the fingers nice and wide and splayed. So it's like you dip the very tips of your fingers in paint, and you're now drawing this gigantic arc right in front of you on a gigantic blank canvas. So you really want to splay the fingers wide, reach as far as you can. It should feel quite nice as a bit of a stretch. Let's do 4 more. We go 4, big stretch, nicely done. 3, 2, big reach, last one. And rest. We're going to take our fingers nice and wide again, and we're going to reach them right up to the ceiling as far as you feel you can. It's almost like the tips of your fingers are getting sucked up right into the ceiling. And then you're just going to take that a little further and go on a diagonal. That's it, just on a diagonal, and you're going to drop your bottom arm. You can hold onto your chair if you need. We're just kind of letting the weight of the arm take us a little bit further in that stretch. And rest. Let's try that again on the other side. Reaching the fingertips up all the way to the ceiling, like your fingernails are being sucked up right into the ceiling, and then you're going to take that a little further onto the other diagonal, whichever side you did not do earlier. Your fingers are still spread wide open. The bottom arm is going to drop down or hold onto the chair, whatever you're comfortable with. You're just adding a little bit more weight onto that stretch. And coming back and relax. We're going to close our legs now. Still sitting up nice and tall, we're going to go into a bit of a rotational stretch. You're going to take your hand and you're going to hold on to your opposite knee. And then your other hand is either going to grab onto the back of the chair or the seat, whatever you can reach. And you're going to use both of your arms to pull yourself around into a rotational stretch where you're looking at the back wall. Keep going. I'm just letting somebody in from the waiting room. Keep going. And as you're doing this rotation stretch, you want to think about your spine like a corkscrew. So you're growing taller. The crown of your head is reaching to the ceiling as you're rotating. Let's relax and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Take your hand. You're going to hold on to your opposite knee, and your other hand's going to wrap around the back of the chair or the seat, whatever you can reach. Sit up tall, crown of the head reaching for the ceiling, and then you rotate on the spot. So imagine your spine like a corkscrew, and you're trying to look at your back wall. Now, of course, as you're doing the stretch, if you've got back problems or any issues or pain that you're getting, do a little less and be careful with this one. Or in fact, with any of the stretches and exercise we do, just be careful and listen to your body. If you can't do something, that's absolutely fine. You do not have to go as far as what I'm doing here. Okay, let's relax and do 1 more on each side. Hand to the opposite knee, other hand wrapping around the back of the chair or whatever you can grab. And you're sitting tall and rotating. Think about that corkscrew analogy for your spine. The crown of the head reaching to the ceiling as you're rotating. It's like your spine is a towel and you're wringing the towel. Nicely done. Release. Last time on the other side. Hold on to your opposite knee. Your other hand's going to hold on to the chair. Sit tall. And then we rotate. Breathing. Don't forget to breathe. Nicely done, everybody. And release. Okay, for our next back stretch, we are now going to slouch. This is the exercise I was saying earlier where you're officially allowed to slouch. So I'm going to sit back in my chair and I'm going to lean into the backrest and just slouch a little bit. Now, this stretch works the best if the back of your chair goes up to maybe your upper back. If you've got a chair that has a tall back, this might not work as well, so you might not be able to slouch. So the higher the backrest of your chair, the taller you should actually sit so that you want the backrest to be resting. kind of where your shoulder blades are. But for my chair, because it's quite low, I'm gonna slouch. And from here, I'm gonna put my hands behind my head. I'm gonna make sure my elbows are pointing out to the side. So really open your elbows out to the side. And then you're gonna lean up and over the backrest of the chair, and you should feel a nice back stretch. Just be careful, of course, not to topple over your chair. We don't want anyone to fall. And if you're someone with bone density problems like osteoporosis, please be very careful with this one and maybe do a little bit less of an arch. And release. Let's try that again. I'm going to drop the arms and then bring them back up behind your head. Make sure your elbows are pointing out to the side. And then we go up and over again. Nicely done. Breathing. And release. Let's do one more. Make sure you release your arms and then bring them back up. Point the elbows out to the side, opening that chest. And then leaning up and over the back of your chair. Nicely done, everybody. And release, sitting up nice and tall again, moving to the front of your seat. And we're going to go on to some ankle movement. So we're going to raise our heels up nice and high while we're sitting tall, right? And then lift our toes as high as you can. Maybe let me turn sideways so you can see. So I'm going heels up as high as I can, noticing my height stays the same. I'm not getting lower every time I move. And then I'm going to lift my toes up as high as I can. Lift my heels. Lift my toes as high as you can. Lift my heels. Good. And then lift my toes. Good. Let's do two more. And then we're going to switch it up a little bit, just to give your brain a little bit of a morning wake up. Okay. Now we're going to relax for a second. Just to trick our brains a little bit. We're going to do the same thing, but now opposite. So one foot is going to have the heel up and the other foot is going to have the toes up. Let me turn it on a diagonal. So you can see one has my heel up, one has my toe up, and then I'm going to switch. And you're going to keep repeating that. You're switching. One has your heel up, one has the toe up, and then you're switching. Keep going. I'm letting folks in from the waiting room. Keep going. Sit up nice and tall as you're doing this. And bonus, if you can do this double time, good for you. Even better. Make sure you're sitting nice and tall as you're doing this. You're coordinating the feet, going in opposite directions. Good. And let's rest there. Okay. So now we're going to move into a standing position for the remainder of our class. But before you stand up, let's talk about how we stand up. Because oftentimes, when we see people standing, a lot of the times we go like this. And then we're trying to pull ourselves up into this upright position. Or we might end up doing this, pushing our back of our legs against the chair to stand up. So what we really want to avoid doing are those two examples. And you want to rely on the strength of your legs to stand up. So first of all, if my weight is, I'm trying to think, here. So if I have this pen holder, right? If I'm trying to balance the pen holder on my palm, it's balanced because the weight of the actual cylinder is right over the base, right? But if the weight of the cylinder goes beyond the base, the whole thing falls down. So that's kind of like our bodies. If your weight is this far back behind my feet, there's no way I can stand up unless I move my weight physically forward, correct? And so what you want to do is shuffle your bottom forward in the seat so it's as close to your base as possible. And then when you're standing up, imagine someone's grabbed your shirt and they're pulling you forward. Get right over your base, kind of like that cylinder we were balancing. Get right over your base. And then you push yourself up into standing. And same thing when you're sitting back down. You're sticking your bottom back, chest forward, but I'm keeping my entire center of gravity right over the base to sit down. So then when I sit down, I am not going and falling back into my seat. Okay, try it. See if you can do 4 sit-to stands on your own. So you're standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down. 4 times using that technique. Really stack your weight over your feet to stand up. Try not to use momentum. And while you do that, I'm going to let somebody in from the waiting room. And you can go as slow or as fast as you want, but the bonus here is the slower you go, the more challenging it's going to be. So I really want you to use the strength of your legs and not momentum to swing yourself up from the seat. Nicely done. And when you've done your 4, you're going to remain standing. I'm just going to move my chair aside. Okay. So what we're going to do in standing, I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me. We're going to go into some gentle squats. So it's going to look like this. I'm going to squat and reach my arms in front, and then I'm going to stand back up. It's kind of like I'm swimming a little bit with my arms. So I'm sticking my body back as if I'm about to sit down in a chair. My arms are reaching forward, and then I stand back up. So your arms are scooping forward, long spine. I'm not like this. Long spine. You're thinking about sticking your bottom out. Nicely done, everybody. And you don't have to go too low if that's not comfortable for you. Go as low as you feel you're able to. Good. Long spine is the key here. Spine on a diagonal. Long spine, right? Not like this. Like this. Long spine. Good. Let's do 8 more. We go 8. Nicely done. 7. Breathing. Don't hold your breath. 6. Try to make the movement smooth if you can. 5. Smooth and buttery. 4. Nicely done. Spread the fingers if you can. 3. Breathing. 2. Last one. And release. I tried to make my voice a little bit buttery and smooth there. I don't think it worked. But anyway, that's the quality you're aiming for. Okay. So now we're going to stretch the back of your thighs. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring one foot in front and we're going to hitch back with our hips. So if I turn sideways, my front leg is straight, my back leg is bent. Let me go this way first, actually, so you can see. So back leg is bent, front leg is straight, and I'm going to keep my spine long and hinge at the hips. So you can see my spine. I'm keeping my spine straight and I'm hinging at the hips. And I'm putting my hands on my leg and I'm reaching as far down as I feel I'm able to without my back rounding. So I don't want to be like this. I want to elongate my spine and hinge at the hips. And you might find when you're elongating your spine, you actually can't go down very far. And that's okay, because you'll feel that stretch at the back of the thigh. And your foot, doesn't matter if it's up or down, it's entirely up to you. Sometimes you might see instructors tell you to bring your foot up, but the muscle itself will not actually change. What you'll feel here with your foot up is just more of a nerve stretch underneath, which arguably does your nerve stretch. And how far does it stretch? We don't know. So you're welcome to put your foot down if you would like. Good, and let's switch to the other side. Foot in front, stick your hips back, front foot is going to be, or front leg, sorry, is straight, and the back leg is bent. And you're keeping your spine straight. Remember, we're not curving, we're keeping our spine straight, and then you're hinging at the hips forward. And you can reach down as far as you feel you're able to. You should feel a stretch at the back of the thigh, and probably the knee a little bit too. Breathing. Good, nicely done, everybody. And let's come back up. We're going to go into our calf stretch now.
one leg forward, one leg back. You can hold on to something in front of you or beside you. You don't have to, but you can hold on if you like. The front knee is bent, the back leg is straight. Now, my goal here is to straighten my back knee and reach that heel towards the floor. You might not actually be able to get the heel to the floor, and that's fine, but you're going to try to straighten that knee and reach that heel down as much as possible. Nicely done, everybody. Hopefully you feel that stretch in the back calf muscle. If you don't feel it, you might have to separate your legs a little more. Good. Now we're going to walk that back foot in just a little bit. And you're going to bend your weight over that back foot. And you should feel a calf stretch still, but maybe a little closer to the heel. If you don't feel it, you might need to move that foot back a little bit. But you need to bend that leg and kind of shift your weight a little bit so you can play around with where or how far you should shift your weight back in order to feel that stretch in the calf. Nicely done, everybody. And let's switch legs. Same thing, front knee bent, back knee straight. Your goal is to straighten that and reach that heel to the floor. So if you don't feel that stretch, you might need to elongate the leg a little more. And it's okay if your heel doesn't get onto the floor completely. You're just trying to reach the heel down and straighten the knee, and you should feel a stretch in the back calf muscle. Hopefully you're breathing and not holding your breath. Nicely done, everybody. Okay, let's step that back foot in a little bit. Bend that knee and kind of shift your weight over that back leg, and you should feel that calf stretch still, but maybe closer down towards the heel. Nicely done. Good job, everybody. Breathing. Okay, and standing back up, we're going to do a thigh stretch now. So for this one, definitely hold on to something because we're not trying to challenge our balance. We're trying to get a good stretch in our leg. So I'll show you two different versions. Version one, if you're able to, hold on to something, grab your foot and pull it towards your bottom with your knees in one line, pushing your hips forward. If this is too difficult for you and you can't hold on to your foot, that's okay. You can grab a chair, put it behind you, and you can actually place your foot onto the chair as long as your knees are in one line and you're still pushing your hips forward, trying to pull straight at the front of your hip. That's okay. So it's up to you, whatever version you would like to do, whatever feels good on your body today. But you want to make sure you're feeling the stretch in the front of the thigh and the front of the hip. Nice job, everybody. Breathing, hopefully, as you're doing this. And let's release and do the same thing on the other side. So you can either use a chair behind you or just hold on to the foot and push the hips forward. Really important is you don't let the knee come in front. You want the knee to be in one line, and then you push the hips forward because you'll feel that stretch a little more. Nicely done, everybody. Breathing as you're doing this. Okay, and let's release. We're going to step forward and we're going to spread our legs nice and wide. So wide as in it's almost like you're forming a triangle shape in between your legs. We don't want the legs like that. It's too narrow of a triangle. We want like a big slanted triangle. And from here, you're going to bend one knee and you're going to lean to one side. So I'm going to turn sideways for a second so you can see. Look at my spine. I'm keeping my spine long and I'm hinging. So I'm sticking my bottom back and my head is going forward. So I'm kind of lengthening this way. I'm really thinking, hinging at the hips and sticking my bottom back. And you should feel a stretch on the inside of your thigh. If you don't, stick your bottom back. Nicely done. Hopefully you're breathing, not holding your breath. And let's stand back up. Legs stay where they are. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Stick your bottom back. That's it. Long spine. Stick your bottom back. You should feel it on the inside of your thigh. Nice job, everybody. How are we doing for time? Hopefully we can do one more. Oh, yes, good. We have time. Okay. Come back up. All right. Our last exercise of the day, you're going to find a wall. So any wall, and you're going to put your chest onto the wall. So like this. I'm standing with my arms out to the side, my chest and my forehead are on the wall. And I'm going to do some upper back stretches. So I'm just going to wait till everybody finds a wall. Okay. So I'm leaning my chest and forehead on the wall, and I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades together, and I'm going to lift my arms off the wall, and then I'm going to put them back. So I'm thinking about squeezing my shoulder blades together and lowering my arms. Squeezing my shoulder blades together and lowering my arms. Nice and tall on the wall. We're going to go for 10. You ready? Here we go. 10. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Lift the arms off the wall. 9. 8. Breathing. 7. It's okay if you can't quite do this one. Try your best. 6. If anything hurts, please stop or lower the range. 5. 4 more. 4. Squeeze the shoulder blades. 3. 2. Last one. Squeeze and hold for 5. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Shake out those arms. Well done, everybody. We're going to roll out our shoulders a little bit, nice and gentle, just rolling the shoulders back and rolling them forward. Good. We're going to clasp our hands together in front of us, and we're going to pull the arms forward away from our back. So it's kind of like our sternum, our breastbone is pulling away from our hands. Just to stretch our shoulder blades a little bit. And release. Shake out those arms. Last one, we're going to do a big scoop. Breath in. And breath out. Then again, go. Breath in. And breath out. One more. Breath in. And breath out. And you are done. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for the Monday morning stretch class. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was nice on your bodies today, and it was a good way to start the day. I look forward to seeing you all here next week, Monday, same time, same place. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. Thank you, everybody.